be big for both of these teams. For the Rays, they're trying to bank wins right now while they're playing their best baseball. A 4-game lead in the East, recently rolling off 9 straight. Good pitching, good hitting. Had that streak snapped, though, yesterday for the Astros. Looks like they're in a good place if you're looking at the West, but this team has worked really, really hard to get to 2.5 back. They're trying harder to get to the top, a place they've been very comfortable in the past few years. These Astros played their best baseball in the month of June, 15-10, their best month by far. They got healthier, they got consistent pitching as well. From one guy in particular, the guy on the mound, Peter Lambert, starting for the Astros today. He signed to a minor league deal. His goal, just get back to the majors. He's done that and more for Houston. And then he's facing the Rays, who are they're on game 6 of 13 straight. So this is a tough stretch. Kevin Cash trying to give guys a blow through this stretch. This is a team that's done a lot of things well, though. The offense, a big story, hitting 21 home runs in their last 10 games. TK.
Yeah, they've been rolling lately with the home run ball, Julia, as they are not really driven by the home run, other than the guy that we're going to highlight, Junior Caminero, second in the American League in home runs this year, behind only Yordan Alvarez. They may hit back-to-back in the All-Star game. Junior starting at third base, Yordan starting at DH. Yandy Diaz back in the lineup today at the top of the lineup. Yandy also an All-Star, had the day off yesterday, as Julia mentioned, with the Rays playing 13 straight going into the All-Star break. Day off for Taylor Walls, so Ben Williamson will be at shortstop in the Rays lineup today. Hunter Fiducia back in the lineup, catching and batting ninth. And he will be facing, along with the rest of the Rays offense, this right-hander for the Houston Astros.
Peter Lambert taking the mound today, 29-year-old right-hander. There you see the stats, 13 games, 6-5 record, a 3.51 on the ERA. Punch out to walk ratio, 68-31. And here we're going to see the pitch mix. Forcing fastball, leans on it about 30% of the time. Changeup's a good one. 23% of the time. Right after that, you're going to see the slider, cutter, and he's going to mix in that sinker as well.
Both these starters rely on the changeup, and they're both not afraid to throw righty on righty or obviously righty on lefty changeups today. It'll be Peter Lambert on the mound for the Astros, and Mason Engler just called up today from AAA Durham, pitching for Tampa Bay. We are underway, and Yandy Diaz back in the lineup, going after the first pitch he sees and fouling it back.
You know, it's interesting. You were talking about that changeup and go right on right. You're right. You don't see that a lot from a lot of pitchers. You know, typically go with the slider a little bit more often when they see arm side.
Good fastball there for a swinging strike. It's 0-2. Been a good series so far between these two teams. Rays had their 9-game winning streak snap last night. Still the best record in the American League and leading the New York Yankees by 4. Called third strike. A 3-pitch strikeout to start this one. Corey Blazer behind home plate, having a little conversation with Yandy Diaz after that pitch.
Boy, Lambert wasting no time. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's a center cut fastball. You hardly see Yandy Diaz take that pitch, but a really good spot and a really good start right here for Peter Lambert.
Now the second of the big 3 as Diaz strikes out looking. Jonathan Aranda goes after the first pitch and fouls one into the upper deck. Aranda has faced Peter Lambert a couple of times. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Only the top 2 hitters, Yandy Diaz and Jonathan Aranda, back in 23, when Lambert was a Colorado Rocky, have faced this right-hander before. Lambert coming out firing strikes, as he said. He has thrown 5 pitches, all for strikes.
Well, we were talking to Joe Espada before the game, and he was talking about the importance of getting ahead, right? Lambert, not necessarily an overpowering guy, but when he's controlling the counts, good things typically happen for him.
When he did strike out Aranda as a Rocky, it was on the slider. This time he scoops a little fly ball on the left on the 0-2 changeup. And then it's caught there by Lamont Wade Jr. for the second out.
Well, let's check out Junior Caminero and what he's done this series. He has just been on an absolute heater. Over the last 11 games, he has 11 home runs. That was home run number 10 right there. And then you see it again. Hunter Brown sees the pitch out over the plate. That was a breaking ball, and he was able to launch it onto the railroad track. TK. That's some distance right there.
Yeah, you don't see a lot up there. And this guy, like you said, has been as hot as anybody in baseball for a couple of weeks now.
You know, he made an adjustment to his stance about 2 weeks ago. And what he's doing now is he's opening up just a little bit with the front foot. You can see it right there. And what that does is it allows him to get to the inside corner pitch a lot better. You know, talking to Chad Mottola, the hitting coach, they made that adjustment because he was getting handcuffed a little bit on the inside corner. And now, since that adjustment was made, he has absolutely been on a tear.
I mean, almost all of his home runs have been pitches middle and in during this recent stretch.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, those are the pitches that early in the year he struggled with a little bit. He has such quick hands, right? He has one of the fastest bat speeds in the major leagues. But he was still getting handcuffed a little bit because he couldn't get his arms extended. Now, with the adjustment, you see it, with the adjustment of that left foot, now he's getting to those pitches.
Going after a couple of pitches off the plate there. The sweeper putting him in a 2-2 count. Happy birthday to Junior, turning 23 today. 23.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
About to start his second All-Star game.
Where were you when you were 23?
Swing and a miss. Caminero not happy on his first birthday at bat as he goes down on strikes here. Good start for Peter Lambert and the Astros, a 1-2-3 first. Here's the Astros starting lineup today. Jose Altuve back at the top in front of Yordan Alvarez. Isaac Paredes hitting third. Christian Walker in the cleanup spot. Lamont Wade Jr. second game off the IL. Cam Smith in right. Taylor Trammell, Nick Allen, and Christian Vasquez round out Joe Espada's lineup.
Taking the bump today for Tampa Bay, Mason Englert, 26-year-old right-hander, 0-1 on the year, 3.96 on the ERA, 19 punch-outs to those 6 walks. So the pitch mix, changeup. He's going to lean on that heavily 30% of the time. That's his best pitch. Sinker coming in right behind it.
Englert just back from AAA Durham, activated today before the game. Tampa Bay moving pitchers on and off the roster. Trevor Martin option to AAA Durham as Englert gets ahead of Jose Altuve, 0-2.
Well, that's that changeup we were just talking about. That is by far his best pitch. You know, he's going to come out here and he's not afraid to throw it. You know, first pitch and early in the count, and especially with Altuve, with how aggressive he has shown over the course of this series. I mean, he had a couple hits yesterday, both on first pitches.
Once he gets to 0-2 and 1-2, you'll see that changeup over 50% of the time.
Yeah, not afraid to throw it at any point. And like you were talking about earlier, he'll throw it against right-handers, left-handers. It really doesn't matter because it has that late tumbling action to it. It's not just a pitch that he's trying to get weak contact. He can get some swing and miss.
1-2 count to righties this year, 51.6% changeups. And he hits a ground ball on the sinker. That is bobbled and mishandled by Ben Williamson. Taylor Walls, normally the shortstop, as we mentioned, getting the day off today. And Williamson, a good defensive player, normally makes an error on the first play he has.
Yeah, here you see it. Altuve just ground ball straight to him. Taylor made, and you know, with Williamson, hits him right in the palm. And you're right, Taylor Walls typically out there at shortstop. Ben Williamson has been playing really good on defense. He'll move over from second base to shortstop position, typically somewhere in the middle of the infield.
So with that out by Yandy Diaz in the first inning, the strikeout on a called third, Yordan Alvarez is now leading in batting average in the American League. So he is currently the Triple Crown leader in all categories. First pitch strike to him, 0-1.
Well, you want to know how good he is? He's already getting an MVP chance.
First time is this series.
Is it this
Yeah,
series?
this
I
series.
mean, we rolled up in here and I'm hearing MVP chance in the first half of a season, but that tells you why. I mean, look at the numbers. They justify what the fans want to see.
He has Triple Crown numbers right now. If he makes an out, Yandy goes past him again in that battle between the two Cuban natives.
I love the live updates from you, TK. That's why you're the best.
We have a statistician, by the way.
Well, we do, yes.
Who is
But
giving
still,
me
I'm trying to
live
give you
updates.
credit, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, Yandy striking out put him at 3.237. Yordan's at 3.239. Pitches off the plate, 2-1.
It's interesting how the Rays are attacking Yordan. I mean, obviously he's one of the hottest hitters in the game, but what is so surprising is with all the numbers, he does not chase. He really is very patient. He goes out there, has an idea, and he's not just a free swinger. He just impresses in so many different ways, and it's really hard to get him out consistently. Let's go into yesterday, and this is what happened. I mean, look, goes out there, multiple hits, and a couple of them leaving the park. This one, in the first inning, left center field, no problem going out to dead central, and then again goes out there, and this is the walk-off right here. That was the 6th pitch of the game. 5 fastballs and a straight challenge by Legumina, Casey Legumina from the Rays, and Jordan was up for the challenge.
Englert with a 2-2 count, and he misses up to Alvarez, 3-2. Find a pitch that you like against Jordan. It's kind of tough.
I mean, what do you do with that, right? If you're game planning against him, he's one of the best hitters in the league are the ones that you cannot get out twice the same way. And Jordan is in that category.
Altuve on the go, swing and a miss. The throw is into center field. Jose's going to end up with his 2nd steal of the year. And he's going to get to third on the error by the catcher, Hunter Fiducia. So a couple of errors by the Tampa Bay defense in the 1st inning, putting a runner on 3rd base.
We'll see the curveball right here. This is a nice breaking ball. You know, we were talking about Mason Englert and how good his changeup is. He does have a nice breaking ball and got Jordan out front on the front foot. You see Jose Altuve able to take second base. Hunter Fiducia, the ball just sailed on him into the outfield. Looks like the infield is a little bit damp.
Yeah, it's pretty wet when the game first starts here at Dyken Park. They have that infield watered down pretty well. Infield comes in on Isaac Paredes, who is a fly ball hitter primarily, as he hits one down the line, but foul.
No secret to Isak's game, is it? I mean, he gets right on the plate. All he wants to do is go pull side air. Put it in the air, elevate, get it into those Crawford boxes. It was really cool, though, talking to Joe Espada again, and we were talking about Isak and how he puts together so many quality at-bats and how he can go out there and extend at-bats.
This ball popped into shallow right. Not sure if it's going to be deep enough to score Altuve. Victor Mesa Jr. with a catch, and Altuve stays at third, and wisely so. Paredes flies out to shallow right for the 2nd out. Good throw by Victor.
Yeah, Victor Mesa Jr. definitely has the best arm in the outfield for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he features it right here. Absolute bullet to Hunter Fiducia. It's a good move by Altuve, not taking the chance.
Altuve has tagged on a shorter fly ball this year in Anaheim, and it worked out for him, but electing to stay at third here. Now 2 outs for Christian Walker. Walker chops a foul past the third base coach, Tony Perez-Chica, 0-1. Englert, in his last 3 minor league starts, only walked a total of 1 batter in those 3 starts. That was over 16 innings. So he's a guy that's going to be around the plate.
Around the plate, he's already ahead of every batter he's faced so far today. First pitch strikes are going to be big for him. He needs to control the count.
And he's gotten ahead of Christian Walker, 0-2.
Well, they're looking for length out of Mason Englert. You know, it's something that the Rays definitely need, because they went into that bullpen yesterday, and you know they're in the midst of, well, I think it's 13 straight games, and so you're going out there, you got to find a way to get some length out of your starter here today.
Englert has been back and forth between AAA Durham and the big league team, giving Griffin Jackson an opportunity to get an extra day going into that Yankee series beginning tomorrow. Now a 1-2 count on Walker with Altuve at third and 2 outs. Checked his swing on a pitch in. It's an even count at 2 apiece. Englert was originally drafted by the Rangers, and then after a couple of years in the Rangers minor league system, Detroit took him in the Rule 5 draft. Pitched a couple of seasons with the Tigers, and then the Rays traded for him before last year. Walker almost left the zone, but he did a good job holding up. It's now a 3-2 count.
Yeah, pretty nice take right there by Christian Walker. He wanted to go after it. Nice sweeper, breaking off the plate from Mason Englert.
Altuve at third with 2 outs and a full count pitch coming to Christian Walker. Englert has gotten a decent amount of chase this year. 40% chase rate for Mason, which is amongst the best in all of baseball. But Walker's done a good job staying in the zone after getting down to the count 0-2. That one is a swing for a third strike. Jason Visconti went and made the call at first base. Walker goes too far.
Nice little cutter right here to finish him off. Cannot take, and that'll send us to the next inning.
Scoreless so far. Number 4 hitter in the Tampa Bay lineup is Cedric Mullins taking a strike. Mullins, one of 6 lefties in the lineup today against Peter Lambert. You don't always see lefties get stacked up against Lambert because he's been so good against left-hand hitters. He's kind of got reverse splits this year.
Yeah, Rays trust in the matchup. Left versus right. You know, Cedric Mullins, boy, he's come on strong since the start of June. Really started to turn things around. Slow start to the season. Right, first month hovering around that 150, 160 batting average mark, and then he started to get timed up on that fastball. And once that happened, his season's just absolutely exploded for him. This is the numbers I'm talking about, TK. So you look at the first month, right? First 27 games, 129 on the batting average. I actually gave him a little padding. I was up at 150, 129. And then the last 48, man, 275. And he just basically, he's gotten more direct. He's gotten more direct to the ball. And by becoming more direct, he's more on time with velocity. All the numbers increasing because of that slugging percentage. I mean, this is a guy who's now hitting home runs again.
And he's in a huge spot right now, hitting behind Junior Caminero the last few days. He hit third yesterday when Caminero hit second, and today he's in the cleanup spot with Caminero hitting third. Mostly a leadoff type when he was with the Orioles.
Well, the veteran presence is so big, right? And when they brought him over to Tampa Bay, you know, that was part of it. They wanted that veteran presence in the outfield to help mentor some of the younger guys. But they also felt like they were confident in his game.
This one popped foul, giving it a look. Christian Walker. Christian Vasquez finds it now. Walker had the longer run, but he saw it from the start, and Vasquez picked it up and eventually made the play. Vasquez back to his role behind Yainer Diaz, who has caught the majority of the game since coming off the IL. But Vasquez has made a lot of starts while Yainer was injured. Christian is now making his 48th start of the year. 28-17 are the Astros. When Vasquez is behind the plate, he's done a nice job. There's the veteran. You always need that veteran presence behind the dish.
Yeah, we were just talking about Cedric Mullins for the Rays. You know, Vasquez behind the dish for Houston. It's always good to have veterans all around the diamond.
How about the guy at the plate now for Tampa Bay? Chandler Simpson back in the lineup. First chance to play in this series after a big series in Kansas City.
Yeah, he's starting to come on strong. Started the season out really well and then went through a little bit of the slump. You know, the league started to adjust for him. And, you know, this is a young guy who loved to go to the opposite field, didn't turn on a lot of pitches early on, and the league started pitching him in. And a lot of heaters in, a lot of fastballs, and, you know, he struggled for a little bit turning on the ball, and now he's starting to make adjustments back, right? Now he's starting to pull the ball with a little bit more power, but he's still not giving away the small ball, right? He can drop a bunt down at any point in time because you're looking at one of the fastest guys in the league right here.
Pitch is down. Simpson with a count. Actually, that was a foul ball, so Simpson with a count of 1-2. Chandler did not play the first 2 games. Jammed a couple of fingers on his right hand diving into a bag in Kansas City. See how far he is up on the bat with 2 strikes. And that one is just down. It's 2-2.
Well, he changes the dynamic of the lineup when he's in there. And you talk to Cash, and, you know, Kevin Cash will talk about it. When he is on base, he can just be total chaos for the pitcher, right? He's trying to figure out what to do, and really he's one of those guys that can disrupt a lot of timing for pitching. And, you know, the amount of bags that he's stolen so far this year, and, you know, that's an interesting point that, you know, he went through when he was slumping at the plate. He also went through a slump a little bit with the stolen base category. Now he's starting to get his confidence back on the bags as well.
Got to a full count and roped a single past the pitcher Peter Lambert. So Chandler Simpson now a 7 for 12 road trip. is a one-out base runner and a threat to steal.
Well, it took a couple nice pitches, and now you see he got a mistake pitch, 94 miles an hour, right up in the zone, got his foot down on time. That's the adjustment we were just talking about, right? He's getting to that pitch now and able to drive it back up the middle. Now you got a base running threat on first base.
And a guy who's not afraid to take some pitches in Ben Williamson. So 20 stolen bases for Simpson. He has been caught 11 times this year. But the 20 steals, good for 4th in the American League. Williamson overall swings at the fewest pitches of any of the Tampa Bay hitters. A good guy to be hitting behind Simpson to give him a chance to run. The first pitch is taken for a strike. Then at shortstop today, the Rays worked around 2 errors in the bottom half of the first inning. As Altuve reached on an error and then stole a base and went to third on another error. The ball's off the plate, 1-1. Tampa Bay coming in at 52-34, had their 9-game winning streak snapped in last night's game, but have flipped the standings in the American League East in the span of about a week and change. There's a strike on the outside edge, and Lambert getting ahead 1-2.
It's just perfect timing for the Rays, right, to go on a hot streak, because the Yankees, as hot as the Rays were, the Yankees almost were the polar opposite. You see what happened just over the last 10. The first time they had lost is yesterday in that walk-off fashion here in Houston. But boy, you talk about the average.
Runner goes. The throw is to the third base side. Nice pick by Nick Allen on a low throw, and Chandler Simpson has his 21st steal of the season.
Well, there you go. It was only a matter of time. Chandler Simpson going out there being super aggressive. And, you know, the Rays in general are going to steal a lot of bags. That's part of their offense. And this is what we've seen over the last 10. OPS kind of tells you the story of what they're doing. A lot of home runs, but also, you know, just getting on base. Average with runners in scoring position. They have been clutch. A lot of big-time hits with runners on second and third.
Williamson stays alive on that 2-2 pitch off the plate. Fouled off the sweeper. First runner in scoring position for the Rays, the speedy Chandler Simpson. And now a 2-2 count on Williamson. And he misses the sweeper. That'll be a strikeout for Lambert. Strikeout number 3 for Peter in the second out of the inning.
Really nice sweeper right here by Lambert. I mean, look, Williamson looked like he was caught guessing. He was in between. He gets the foot down, and just the late action on the swing. You see Lambert that gets around that pitch, swings it out to the outside corner. Nice execution.
Now Victor Mesa Jr. taking a pitch up for a ball. Mesa Jr. playing his 28th game for the Rays. In the lineup all 3 games in this series. Guy who was with the Marlins last year and traded to the Rays right before spring training this year.
You know, they love the athleticism of Mesa Jr. We already saw him, a nice throw from the outfield, goes up there, pretty aggressive at the plate, still making some adjustments.
Time is called with this 1-1 count.
TK, I just saw a foul ball go over our head. You ever get one in the booth?
Yeah.
Did you catch it?
Plummer's
Plummer
made a catch here. I've made a catch in Anaheim.
Yeah?
But there's a couple that come up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be ready. It has to be pretty straight back, though. It's usually a righty.
Yeah.
Pitches up and in. It's 2-1. How about you? You catch a few?
Never caught one in my life. Never caught one in my life. I feel like I'd get out of the way. If you saw me as a fielding pitcher,
yeah,
you'd tell me to get out of the way.
You're an athlete.
Yeah, no.
You played quarterback in high school.
Yeah, well, you covered me then.
I did.
You look the exact same, too.
Yeah, right. Off the plate, 3-1. Doug Wechter, a quarterback at Northeast High School. For the legendary Jerry Austin.
The fact that you remember that is
the Northeast Vikings
unbelievable.
Star.
Yeah. Well, the wing tee. I mean, pitch it and go hit the linebacker. They didn't trust my arm.
3-1 to Victor. That's why you ended up pitching.
That's exactly right.
That's a ball to walk Mesa Jr. So first and second here with 2 outs. Lambert issues his first walk of the game. The walks the last 2 games for Lambert have been a little higher than he wants as Josh Miller, the pitching coach, goes out to have a word. 3 walks in Toronto 2 starts ago, and 3 walks in Minnesota in his last start. Rays now with runners on first and second and 2 outs.
MLB and T-Mobile offer you a chance to win trips to all 30 stadiums. The views, the food, the vibe. Begin your journey to 30. Enter now.
You mentioned in the American League East how Tampa Bay and the Yankees have kind of been heading in 2 different directions lately. Yankees have lost 11 of their last 14, and they've been outscored 80-40.
Well, Aaron Judge not in that lineup making a huge difference right now. It seems like they just, and I'll tell you, the Rays are going back home, and that's the series they're going to be playing in. So they're going to go head-to-head here starting tomorrow.
That 80-40 run differential was before the score today, and they're being shut out today by the Twins at home in the Bronx, with Minnesota out in front 6-0 in the 6th inning. Richie Palacios the batter. Palacios hit a home run in yesterday's game, giving the Rays a 3-2 lead in the 2nd inning. It was his 2nd home run of the season. Also added a single and a walk. Palacios has been good this year with 2 outs, hitting .271. As he hits this one to the right of Altuve, he'll flip it to Allen for the final out of the inning. Mesa Jr. forced it second. Couple of runners in the 2nd, and the Rays fail to score. We head to the bottom of the 2nd, scoreless here at Daikin Park in Houston. We head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning, final game of a 3-game series between the Rays and the Astros. Astros will play in Tampa Bay beginning on September the 11th, a 3-game series at Tropicana Field. Todd Callis alongside Doug Wechter. We'll hear from Julia Morales during the course of the broadcast. Glad you could join us on this Star-Spangled Sunday on Peacock, presented by Ford. It is Lamont Wade Jr. leading things off. Lamont Wade Jr. just came off the IL for the Astros in last night's game after a 3-game rehabilitation at AAA. Astros signed him at the beginning of June, and then he got hurt, and this is only game number 6 for Lamont Wade Jr. as he takes a pitch up from Mason Englert. It's 1-1. It's a holiday weekend, so we've had baseball, we've had fireworks, and we also have some barbecue that has been brought up to the booth. We know you're a foodie.
I am.
On the Tampa Bay Rays broadcast.
I am, and I take pride in that. After, 10, 12 years of doing analysis, most people around the stadium walk up to me and ask me what I'm eating. It's great. It's great.
But about your Rays career.
I embrace it. I absolutely love it. I have a lot of fun with it. And we got some good food back there, and I got some good food in front of me right here.
Lamont Wade Jr. down on strikes. Englert picks up his 3rd strikeout. So, Doug, we have fried brisket donuts with barbecue sauce and homemade mac and cheese.
You know how happy you guys are making me right now? First of all, a brisket donut?
There it is, right in the bottom part of your screen.
Yeah.
So do you want to try that? Do you want to try you want to try that first?
Yeah, of course.
So the left is the Crawford dog. Okay, you're going to try this first. This is the brisket donut.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
That's crazy.
Come on now.
Show it to the camera.
Look at this right here. You got to come to Houston. All right, I'm going to try the little sauce out.
Watch the microphone.
Oh my God.
You're good. Might want to hit the cough button. All right, he's trying brisket donuts right now as Cam Smith bats with 1 out and nobody on and takes a pitch up. It's 2-0. So it's 2 fried brisket donuts, and you have barbecue sauce to go in there as well, and then there's homemade mac and cheese. That sells in sections 134 or 409 here at the stadium. It's a big ticket item. People love it. People love those brisket donuts. What do you think?
Just incredible. I want to bring Tony back out here who delivered it and hug him personally and thank him for what he did. I also think it was probably a mistake for me wearing a white shirt today.
That's not a good call. No. That is not a good call. 3-0 to Cam Smith here with 1 out and nobody on. And he takes a strike, 3-1. Your next item, which is sold in section 111 portable and section 420 portable, is the Crawford dog. 2 split and griddled all-beef hot dogs, Crawford Bach bacon, onion jam, mustard, and on a toasted Martin's potato roll.
So bacon, onion, jam on top of a Crawford dog.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to get.
Oh, I'll find a way.
Okay. That'll be a walk and a challenge by Hunter Fiducia, our first challenge of the day.
Challenge to call a ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile will show us the replay of whether this is a walk or a 3-2 count on Cam Smith. Fiducia going to the helmet, and he's going to win this one.
Overturned. Pitch is a strike. MLB has 2 counts remaining.
So Cam will regroup now with a 3-2 count after he thought he drew a walk. During that review, have we gotten into the Crawford dog yet?
No, I'm going to get into it
Okay.
right now.
All
I was just, taking my time, recovering from the brisket donut.
Wait, take your time. We got a big pitch coming here, 3-2. Dougie's going in deep. Doug Wechter just took a huge bite. You got to wait for the camera to get on you. Here you go. That is a huge bite. That's the Crawford dog. How do you
I
do
wasn't
this?
trying to be polite, man.
So when you do this on the Rays broadcast, you try and announce that, oh, this ball's hit deep to right field. All the way back is Victor Mesa Jr., and he makes the play on the warning track for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I'll take a couple pitches off, maybe a batter or two, and enjoy my dinner. But, I mean, usually it's not this big of a spread.
Look how
I
much
feel
he's taken
spoiled.
down on the Crawford dog.
Those are 2 small bites, TK.
What do you think of that?
That was amazing. The bacon jam on top of that, outstanding.
Okay.
Both items so far amazing.
By the way, look at these
You gonna do your best Joey Chestnut impersonation?
hot dog topped cupcakes. Obviously, these are not real hot dogs. These
No.
are candy colored decorations
They got
that make it
everything.
look
It's
like,
like a
hot dog.
4-course meal.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks like a real hot dog. All right, so the only thing you have left is smoked ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked ribs, 5-hour smoked competitive style ribs, competition style ribs, house special dry rub, and sweet season vinegar spray. Available at section 116 and portable and 224 butchers. So there you go. That's our 3.
That's it.
That's it. You're in. You've now tried all 3 items. All right. It's going to take him a minute.
My microphone's going to smell like barbecue the entire afternoon.
Jeff Blum is going to hate you when he comes back.
Blummer's going to be so upset.
2-1 the count on Taylor Trammell. All right. What
Outstanding. I don't know what I could pick. I mean, I would go after every one of these. They're all really, really good. The brisket donut, just the fact that it's a brisket donut.
It's unique.
It's hard to say no to. But that is all. This is what I expect in Texas now. This is good stuff. This is top quality.
Yeah, you've had a chance to partake in some
have.
good barbecue on this road trip because you started
Really
in Kansas City,
Mhm.
and now you're in Texas.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go home and hit the treadmill hard. But it's been a great trip so far. I've really enjoyed it. The food, festivities, it's been a great weekend. I mean, 4th of July weekend.
Trammell down on strikes, 1-2-3 inning for Englert. So Doug Wechter, he loves everything. He loves every food item we had. Brisket donut, the hot dog, the ribs. We'll be back. It's scoreless after 2.
Fan is to see it all in the MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks at MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps. Peter Lambert gets back to work here. He told me he was happy with his first half, and that's big picture. He was out of Major League Baseball a year ago, signed the minor league deal, doesn't make the team for opening day, but since he has been given the chance, and then he ran with it. He's been in the rotation since mid-April, one of the most consistent starters for the Astros, who needed it in a big way. Remember, for the Astros, they lost 3 of their 5 starters to the IL before mid-April. And then for him, consistency, able to get deep in the games. The strength is being able to work through and around traffic, competing, finding a way. And he said taking a moment for him is key in those moments, so calm, collected out there. But he did tell me that is the opposite of what is actually happening in his brain. He may look one way, but he is really trying to control a lot that is happening underneath and in his head. Good poker face to Kim.
Yeah, he doesn't seem phased at all when he's out there. But that's the key to pitching, right?
That is. Don't let him see you sweating, right? No, I love what Julie was talking about and the fact that, he's trying to slow himself down during big innings and not have things unravel on him when guys are on base. And, that's such a big key for a major leaguer, and to go out there and just control the chaos, right? When things could fall apart quickly, that's when you want to take a couple extra deep breaths, slow yourself down, remind yourself you're only one pitch away from getting out of any jam.
3-2 to Hunter Paduccia. The catcher pops one up towards third. Drifting over towards the line is Isaac Paredes to put it away for the first out of the inning. Well, Peter Lambert has taken a route that we've seen more and more pitchers take, probably that more so now in the last 10 years than when you were pitching, and that's either go to Japan, go to Korea, even some guys go to the Chinese Professional Baseball League and regroup, maybe get a chance to start, make some money, and it has to vibe with your family situation, obviously. But Lambert did that, and he came back, and now he's got kind of a second lease on life in the majors.
Look, it's a great option for a lot of guys. There's another guy, Nick Martinez, in the Rays dugout, and he's a guy who's could be a potential all-star as a reserve. I mean, he's gone out there and had a phenomenal first half, but he went and spent 4 years in Japan and really refined his tools, something that is similar to Lambert. They go and you're able to work on a few things and get yourself better and improve your game, and then come on back to the States. And boy, you're right. You are seeing a trend of it happening more and more, and I don't think it's a bad route at all.
0-2 the count to Yandy Diaz, who struck out looking his first time up. This time he fouls the 0-2 pitch back. Lambert, one of two brothers pitching in the major leagues. His older brother Jimmy pitched part of 4 seasons with the White Sox. Currently injured, trying to make his way back. Peter was the younger brother out of San Dimas High School who was drafted out of high school, and he strikes out Diaz for the second time today. Yandy Diaz does not have multiple strikeouts very often in his first 2 at-bats against any starter.
Well, Lambert's leaning on the fastball a lot this afternoon for good reason. Look at the location on this one, right at the hands. You don't see Yandy go after that pitch very often, but it was perfectly placed, 94 up and in a location that Yandy Diaz just couldn't get to.
So now 2 outs, bases empty for Jonathan Aranda. He sends one to center, pretty well hit. Back goes Trammell, still near the wall. He'll jump up and make a catch and crash up against the wall. Nice play by Taylor Trammell. Peter Lambert appreciates that. Trammell stayed with that for the final out on a well-struck baseball by Aranda.
Well, take a look at this. I mean, my goodness, it was a perfect route. Taylor Trammell working the outfield, working that fence line, and timing that jump absolutely perfectly.
Lead things off in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Astros still do not have a hit or a walk. Their only base runner, Jose Altuve, reached on an error, as Mason Englert has struck out 4 of the 6 outs so far, as he has come up from AAA Durham and throwing some strikes today as he gets ahead of Nick Allen 0-1.
And he's fitting right into this rotation. You know, the starting rotation for the Tampa Bay Rays has been one of their biggest strengths in the first half.
You've got the pitcher of the month, Drew Rasmussen, for the month of June, and overall the starting pitcher's ERA has been outstanding.
Yeah, first in the AL with 3.29 ERA. And, you know, we were talking about Nick Martinez. He's a big part of it. Shane McClanahan. He was out for a couple years, now back and healthy. Drew Rasmussen, of course, you know, he's one of those guys who's leading the charge.
And then Griffin Jacks moving from the bullpen to the rotation.
Yeah, this is the rotation we're talking about. Again, Nick Martinez, you see the record right there, 7-2 with a 2.61. He's got 100 innings already in his first half. And Drew Rasmussen going to the All-Star game. Shane McClanahan, he's a 2-time All-Star, and you know he's back and healthy, and he really changed the dynamic of that rotation. When he was healthy a couple years ago before his injuries, he was considered one of the best left-handers in the game, and boy, he still has the stuff to be there.
This ball hit fair down the right field side. The first base hit of the day for the Houston Astros. Christian Vasquez with a 1-out single in the 3rd. First time through the lineup, Englert strikes out 5 and gives up his first base runner via hit or walk.
Well, he catches this fastball deep in his stance. That's why he's able to shoot it over to the right side. It was a little bit of an inside-out swing. See how deep that gets in the box and just pushes it to the right side, but you also see the shift. Jonathan Aranda playing way up the middle, which allowed for that ball to be escorted out to right field for the base hit.
Now Jose Altuve, who reached on an error his first time, trying to bunt and bunts it foul. Englert, 26-year-old, has a career high of 5 strikeouts coming into today, and that happened back in 2023 against the Giants, and he already has 5 this afternoon. Altuve had a big night last night, 2 for 3, double, triple, couple of walks, and 3 runs scored. As he takes a pitch on the outside corner, it's 0-2.
Well, Engler doing a really good job of mixing so far. 23% cutters this afternoon, 20% four seams, 20% changeups. I mean, he's trying to go to every single pitch and doing his best to keep these Astros off balance.
Altuve takes that pitch off the plate. Jose, with those walks yesterday, led into some big swings by Yordan Alvarez. Yordan ended up with 6 runs batted in. This ball hit hard to left, backing up Simpson. His jump will not catch the ball. Vasquez didn't see it initially, so he'll have to stay at second. Christian was holding up thinking that Chandler Simpson made that play, but it went over his head and off the wall. It'll be first and second.
Well, Altuve continues to stay hot this series. A couple big hits yesterday, and there you see a breaking ball. He was able to just turn and burn on this pitch, and Chandler Simpson gets on his heels and not able to leap in time. That ball gets over his head for the base hit to the left side. You see the route that Simpson is taking, just basically stepping back a couple times. Ball gets right over his head, and now it's time to go chat with Engler, slow things down.
As a former big leaguer, take us inside this pitching conversation. You have Yordan Alvarez at the plate, 2 guys on and 1 out. What is the pitching coach telling you?
Well, essentially, and we saw a couple of meetings yesterday, right when Yordan got up to the plate, and they're walking through what you want to do right here. Where is his cold zone? What's the plan? How are we going to get to him? How'd you get him out the first time, and how do you want to make some adjustments going out here the second time? Because when you're talking about Alvarez, we were talking about how good he is and how you cannot get him out twice the same way. He'll look for it. He's too good. So essentially, I mean, up and in is one option if you want to get ahead, but you have to be very, very careful according to those numbers.
First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0.
And really, you know, a lot of times those mountain visits are more about slowing the moment down, right? I mean, that's what you really want to do. Just slow it down, make sure Engler's taking some deep breaths, take it 1 pitch at a time.
With Yandy Diaz 0 for 2 so far today, and Yordan is 0 for 1. He once again leads in all the Triple Crown categories as he bats here. First in average, first in home runs, first in RBIs in the American League. He's got 2 runners on here in a 2-0 count. Biggest spot of the game early here for Mason Englert in his first major league start after being recalled from AAA Durham. And that is on the edge of the outside corner, challenged by Hunter Fiducia. He thought that had a corner. It's either going to be 3-0 or 2-1, and Hunter is correct. That ball hit high in the air into shallow left. Simpson coming in. Nobody will be able to advance on that fly ball. Yordan flies out to left for the second out.
Oh, really good job by Englert, just going back there and attacking. Pretty much the best left-handed hitter in the game right now, Yordan Alvarez. He wants to get it up on the hands. You see where Fiducia has that glove, and he was able to dot that up, 93 miles an hour. It's more about location than it is fast velocity, right? You get that fastball four-seamer located with a little bit of elevation to it. It's really hard to get your hands on top of that pitch.
Now Isaac Paredes bats 2 outs and 2 on. And the first pitch, a strike, 0-1. Mason Englert getting a spot start today. Made his first major league start when he was with the Tigers back in 2023. Made another start with Detroit in 24. Now his second start of the season with Tampa Bay. Also has 11 relief appearances. So far, he has handled this Astros lineup first time through with a career high tying 5 strikeouts, and now he's 1-2 on Isaac Paredes.
Well, and again, I think, you know, what we're seeing is him getting ahead and controlling the counts. He's not an overpowering pitcher, not going to go more than maybe 93, 95 on average with that four-seamer, but the pitch mix is very important to him. And evenly use all his pitches and go out there, dot corners where you can, you know, and just not miss in the middle of the zone. When you miss off the plate. And that, so far, that's what he's been doing this afternoon.
Paredes flied out to right his first time up. Grounds this one foul. It stays 1-2.
Just amazing to me, Isaac Paredes' approach. And that, I mean, there's no secrets to it. You just get right on the plate and hammer everything you can to the left side. And it's worked. And it's worked really well for him.
And he really doesn't panic when he gets to 2 strikes. He's as calm in the box as anybody I've seen when he gets down in the count. That's why he sees more pitches per plate appearance than anybody in Major League Baseball. He is a 281 hitter in 0-2 counts, which is amazing.
That is amazing,
yeah.
Actually. That's not a stat that you would think would come up very often. But what I loved what Joe Espada was talking about, Isaac Paredes, is basically he's a gamer. He wants to be out there every day. That's one of the biggest compliments you can give a major leaguer.
There were a lot of rumors this winter because the Astros had 5 infielders for 4 infield spots that maybe Paredes would be moved, and thankfully he wasn't for Astros fans because he is a key piece to the puzzle, especially with the injury to Carlos Correa. He has been protecting Yordan here the last few weeks, and now he's got a 2-2 count. Grounds this one off his foot, even though it went to third fair. That'll be a foul ball. Isaac, all-star the last 2 years. One with Tampa Bay and last year with Houston. This year the Astros with 1 all-star. Yordan Alvarez the starting DH. And the Rays with 4 all-stars at this point, and maybe Nick Martinez will add to that list. Off the end of the bat, Englert, the pitcher, will make the play underhand as he tosses it to Jonathan Aranda for the final out. We are scoreless after 3. The Rays and the Astros on a star-spangled Sunday on Peacock, presented by Ford.
Star-Spangled Sunday with manager Joe Espada, and Peter Lambert gets back to work here. What do you like so far early in this one from
He's
Peter?
throwing the ball well, got in some trouble there in the second, but pitch out of that, more efficient in the third, but stuff looks really good.
You've watched Yordan since he debuted in 2019. You've seen the playoff stuff, but regular season games, where does last night's rank in terms of games for you?
It's tough. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen, right? You just feel good every time he comes to the play. Even that at bat right there, you just feel like he's going to do something special. Just one of the best players in the game, and I'm lucky to have him on our team.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, TK.
Julia, thank you. We'll hear from Kevin Cash after the 4th inning. Joe Espada, the manager of the Houston Astros. It's funny because when you have hitters that are so elite or so locked in, like Yordan Alvarez and Junior Caminero are now, it's really, as Caminero chops one to the left side and Paredes will make this play, it's really hard to find superlatives to keep saying about these guys as Junior keeps hitting home runs one every day, it seems, for the last 2 weeks.
Did you see Joe's face when Julia just mentioned Yordan? He just instantly started smiling. I mean, that'll tell you all you need to know, right?
Yep.
This guy is as hot as they come right now, and he showed it off last night with the walk-off home run on the other side. You know, Junior Caminero and Kevin Cash the other day, even in his post-game press conference, was just saying, hey, I got nothing else to say about this guy. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I've told you how good he is and everything else. I just, there's nothing else I can tell you. He's just amazing. And both these guys, both these athletes, and there's a lot of talent on the field. Those two are special.
Here's a bunt attempt. Paredes will barehand, and what a play by Isaac Paredes. Cedric Mullins trying to bunt for a hit. And Isak, who's been so good on the bare hand plays this year, makes a really nice play for out number 2.
Well, we talked about his offense and how good he has been offensively, but defensively, he's right there. And you see him playing in on the diamond, looking for the bunt. Cedric Mullins drops it down, the bare hand right there. Perfect execution. Outstanding job throwing that strike over to first base. So Christian Walker. Lambert, of course, he's going to appreciate that one.
Peter Lambert's had a couple of nice plays behind him, and now Chandler Simpson shows bunt and goes too far with that bunt attempt. It's 0-1.
Well, this is where you're going to start seeing, the Tampa Bay Rays, the balance of the attack, right? The first 3 guys in the order. You're talking about Yandy Diaz, Jonathan Aranda, Caminero. They're more your power hitters. They're more of the guys who are going to drive the ball in the gaps and, of course, over the fence. But then you start talking about 5 through 9, and you start talking about small ball. Right, they're going to drop them down. They're going to try to manufacture runs. So it's more of a balanced attack when you talk about it that way, with power at the top, and then a little bit of that small ball action as you get lower into that order.
Yeah, so you've got 3 guys at the top of the Rays lineup with 53, 58, and 56 RBIs. They are pulling the weight of this offense. But as you said, once you get beyond those 3, none of them really run. Then you've got guys with speed, contact hitters, put the ball in play. It's almost like a personality change as you move down to the bottom of the lineup.
It really is. And the guys at the lower part of the order, they understand what their goal is to get on base, right? Set the table for when you get back up to the top of that lineup. So you got guys like Yandy Diaz, who has 53 RBI. You got guys like him that can drive you in. And you want people on base when the top 3 are coming up. Jonathan Aranda having an outstanding first half.
Only 1 home run and 1 RBI behind his totals for all of last year. It's a huge first half, if you will, or just beyond the first half now as we head to the All-Star break. This one's on the ground, and Nick Allen knows even with a routine grounder, you can't hesitate with Chandler Simpson running. That's a nice inning for Peter Lambert. 1, 2, 3, 4th. He has retired 7 in a row. The 4th inning, not much offense for either side. Tampa Bay with 1 hit, Houston with 2 hits. Astros and Rays scoreless as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Peter Lambert against Mason Englert. Christian Walker, who struck out his first time up, will lead things off. And he hits the ball high to right field, pretty deep. Back goes Mason Jr. That ball's gone. Christian Walker hits one out the other way for home run number 20 on the season for Walker. And the Astros out in front of Tampa Bay 1-0 in the 4th.
We'll take a look at the location right here. First pitch, Mason Englert just puts it and gives it too much plate, 93 miles an hour outside corner. Walker does a good job. Typically a pull hitter. Goes the opposite way on that one, driving it out of the park. And, it's probably a smart move to ambush, because Mason Englert going into that batter was 10 of 12 on first pitch strikes. Doing a ton of strikes early in the count, knowing that he might get something good to hit. Walker wants to jump all over it.
So that's your goal, though, right? As a pitcher, you're trying to get ahead, but you could almost be too much on the plate, is what you're saying.
It's interesting. Look, Kyle Snyder, and really all pitching coaches in the big leagues, but Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach for the Rays, his mantra is a race to 2 strikes. He wants first pitch strikes, and he doesn't want you to be too fine early, right? He wants you to get ahead. So sometimes, you're going to see some pitches to hit, and especially with an aggressive lineup like Houston, they're going to be able to capitalize at times on that.
Here's Lamont Wade Jr. with an 0-2 count. He hits a ground ball to the right side. Jonathan Aranda will take it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. Let's take another look at that swing.
Take a look at the location. It's a 4-seam fastball. Here it is, 93 miles an hour, and it was just belt high, right? And with Walker, he wants to get his hands extended, so you're doing him a little bit of a favor by leaving it out over the plate right there. And he does a good job of just going the opposite direction. If he tried to pull that ball, he'd just roll over it. Instead goes with the pitch and able to change the score on one swing.
I'm not sure if we quite had enough coffee to have the energy of that fan that caught the home run.
I've been drinking coffee the whole time.
He was fired up.
He was fired up.
That's a guy that made a nice play, and he was ready to celebrate on the 4th of July weekend.
I didn't see him. Did he have his glove?
He had a glove.
Yeah. There you go.
He was in full Astros orange gear, and he was pumped up about the home run catch.
You got to love souvenirs, man. He was sitting in the right section.
There he is. Oh, look who's got the ball now. How good is that?
That is perfect.
I mean, you've got a family there, 4th of July weekend. You just caught a home run, and now you're on Star Spangled Sunday on Peacock, presented by Ford. Doesn't get much better than that. Cam Smith taking a pitch off the plate. It's 2-1.
It's been a great weekend here. Really, I mean, the entire 4th of July weekend. Great crowds. Fireworks last night. No better way to celebrate.
World Cup here.
World Cup. Houston's had a big weekend.
It's been a crazy fun weekend. Downtown has been energized. The crowd yesterday was into it from the first pitch. And they ended up watching a little fireworks show after Jordan started the celebration last night. 2-1 the count to Cam Smith, who flied out to deep right his first time up. This one's popped up on the infield. The first baseman, Jonathan Aranda, is going to be under it to make the play for out number 2.
Well, summer's #1 show is back for the ultimate competition. Don't miss an all-new America's Got Talent Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Two outs, base is empty for Taylor Trammell. Trammell with his 30th start of the year for the Astros, his 19th in center field. He might be seeing even more playing time now that Jake Myers has been optioned to AAA Durham, as he was going to challenge that first pitch that he felt
challenge with the call strike
was below the zone. Called strike by Corey Blazer. We'll see the review right here, and that is going to be a good challenge by Trammell, as it's now a 1-0 count. Taylor now 5 for 8 in challenges on the year. Swings through that pitch. It's 1-1. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Solo home run by Christian Walker. Astros with 3 hits now. Englert had 5 strikeouts of the first 8 batters he's faced, and now he's given up 3 hits since. Singles by Vasquez and Altuve, and the home run by Walker. And Trammell down on strikes. New career high for Englert and K's, but a home run by Walker.
Home run by Walker, changing the score in one swing. First pitch, swing and ambush that fastball to the right side. Home run number 20. Nice catch by that Astros fan.
Than Cash now, and we know what your offense is capable of doing, but what do they need to do to break up Lambert's rhythm here?
Well, he's throwing the ball really well. He's got a good fastball going and some sweepers to Cammy. Just continue to make our adjustments, see if we can start hitting balls hard.
Speaking of Cammy, Caminero turning 23 today. What do you get the guy who's given you 11 home runs in his last 11 games?
I hope he gives us another one today at some point, but happy birthday to him. It's been a special run that he's been on, fun to watch.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, TK.
All right, Julia, we have a challenge here on the second pitch of the inning.
Houston has 1 remaining.
And that is going to be confirmed. So the Astros challenge and lose. Christian Vasquez thought that might have had the corner. Instead, it's a 1-1 count. Astros have 1 ABS challenge remaining. Tampa Bay with 2. And Williamson leading things off, struck out his first time up. He's got a 2-1 count here. 6, 7, and 8, 2 up for the Rays. Williamson and Victor Mesa Jr. and Richie Palacios. This ball hit hard and over the head of Isaac Paredes into left field for a hit. Williamson is going to think about 2, but hold up as the throw comes back in from Lamont Wade Jr. That'll be a single for Williamson, second hit of the day for Tampa Bay, and their first leadoff runner of the day.
Yeah, pretty nice swing here, right, by Williamson. This is a breaking ball, hangs over the middle of the plate, mid-80s, and he stays on that pitch. Just gets a barrel out on time, able to drive that to the left-hand side for the first base hit of the inning.
Yesterday, the Rays stole a season-high 6 bases against the Astros. Different catcher behind the plate today, Christian Vasquez. He and Yainer Diaz throw about equally well. Yainer did not have his best throws yesterday. We'll see how aggressive the Astros or the Rays are today against the Astros.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the game for the Rays. I mean, they're going to try to steal as many bags as they can. They came into this series 3rd in the AL with stolen bases, and one of the more aggressive teams. So as a catcher, they're on red alert at all times. It's also part of the pitcher's job, though, right? To change up your timing. I didn't think we saw a lot of that yesterday. Those 6 stolen bases, I didn't think they were all on Diaz. I thought that the pitcher's a little bit slower to the plate at times.
Williamson had Lambert timed up pretty well on that first pitch home. He might be going soon. There's already been 2 disengagements, so he can be aggressive at the base. Third pickoff attempt has to result in a out, or else it'll be called a balk. It's an 0-1 count on Victor Mesa Jr. Big lead for Williamson. He's 5 of 6 in steals. And he's going to go. The pitch is fouled out of play. That'll be an 0-2 count.
I mean, if you were watching Christian Vasquez set up right there, he was setting up as if he knew that Williamson was going to break. He wanted the outside corner, down and away, forcing fastball, and he got it. But, boy, he was positioned himself to be able to throw out a base runner if he needed to. Just anticipating the stolen base.
Another big lead for Williamson, almost begging Lambert to try to pick him off. He stays this time, and the pitch is in. It's 1-2. Corey Dickerson, first base coach, having a word.
He looks like he can still play, doesn't he?
Corey's in great shape. Yeah.
We were on the bus yesterday, and he was in front of me, and I was like, man, he looks like a player.
Dickerson spent 2 years playing for the Tampa Bay Rays before moving on to Pittsburgh, then Philly, Miami, Toronto, St. Louis, and Washington. That one's off the plate, 2-2. Dickerson started his career with the Colorado Rockies. The irony about Dickerson moving from Tampa Bay to Pittsburgh is he was a DH mostly with the Rays, and he moved to the Pirates and won a Gold Glove.
You never know.
Never
right?
know. Good defensive outfielders. There goes the runner. Pitch is down. The throw by Vasquez is past Nick Allen into center field. Williamson with a stolen base. Vasquez had a pretty quick time getting rid of the ball, but then the throw short hop Nick Allen. That'll be stolen base number 6 for Williamson.
Well, you see the break here from Williamson. There was a really good jump. He had a large lead because of those 2 disengagements. So even if the throw was on the money, you think that he might have been able to beat it. See right here, tried to drop the tag. Williamson, just the jump. That's where he was able to grab that bag.
Now a 3-2 count on Mesa Jr. And that ball hammered but foul down the right field side. Into the second deck.
Yep. The only thing that wasn't on that barbecue?
What?
Is wet naps.
Uh-oh. We have the ability to.
You should see my book right now.
Ground ball into the Astros dugout. We can help you out. Oh,
yeah?
You need something for your book.
No.
Book looks very pristine except for a couple of spots. Joe Espada and Josh Miller have a little conversation here as Peter Lambert's at the 70 pitch mark. This is the 8th pitch of this at bat. And Mesa keeps battling here at 3-2.
Just driving that pitch count up. Lambert leaning heavy on the fastballs so far this afternoon. 50% of his pitches coming in as the four-seamer. It's a good one, though. Gets good swing and miss on it.
Lambert has been doing a good job giving the Astros some length for the most part. Swing and a miss as he gets Mesa Jr. here for the strikeout. That's 5 Ks for Lambert in the first out of the 5th.
Well, outstanding changeup right here from Lambert. Mesa Jr. was extending the at-bat out, and he sees this as a fastball down, but tunnels so well off that fastball. gets him out on the front foot, and that is a perfectly executed change on the bottom of the zone.
Now Richie Palacios the batter. And Palacios fouls off the first pitch. Home runs yesterday were hit by Palacios, Johnny DeLuca, and of course Junior Caminero. What would be a Rays game without a Caminero home run? Palacios got one off Hunter Brown last night.
Well, check this swing out. This is the home run from yesterday off of a Hunter Brown. It's a breaking ball, middle of the plate. You think he knew it was gone? Stood there, watched it for a second or two, and then started the trot. Ball's been flying out this weekend.
I think the ball's been flying most of the season. 0-2 pitch is a chopper. It's going to be a charge by Altuve. Bare hand by Jose, and the play at first out. Couple of bare hand plays by the Astros infield today. Paredes and that one by Altuve. And a good play by Walker adjusting to that throw.
Yeah, I was going to say Walker does a really nice job adjusting to that throw. Altuve comes in on it, and you see the bare hand action right here. Just not going to the glove. And watch Walker stay on that bag with the right foot. Outstanding work from Christian Walker.
So now the runner moving to third with 2 outs, and the catcher Hunter Fiducia the batter. That ball hit hard, glove by Walker to end the inning. Peter Lambert gives up a leadoff hit, gets some defense behind him to help him through the 5th. We head to inning 6 with the Astros leading the Rays 1-0. 1-0 game as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mason Englert getting a spot start today for the Tampa Bay Rays. So far, just 1 run allowed through 4 innings. He has struck out a career high 6 through 4 as he faces Nick Allen here to start the 5th inning, taking a pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0.
Well, talking to Kevin Cash before the game, he was saying that he needs length out of Mason Englert. So far, so good on the afternoon for him. He's been pounding the strike zone. 13 for 17 now, first pitch strikes.
Off the plate, 2-0. Englert in his last 3 starts in the minor leagues went 78, 82, and 67 pitches. So not really a guy that's going to go into the 90s today, you wouldn't think. As he approaches pitch number 70 today, as he gets Nick Allen to ground 1 to short. Lowish throw, but caught by Aranda for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Christian Vasquez, who singled into right field his first time up. First hit of the day for the Astros was in the 3rd inning when Vasquez singled with 1 out. Pitch home is a strike, 0-1. Yainer Diaz starting the first 2 games of the series. Vasquez getting the start here on a Sunday afternoon. That one's fouled back. Mason Englert has a unique warm-up style when he gets ready for each inning. A lot of pitchers go right to the rubber. The majority, I would say, over 90% go right to the rubber and start throwing warm-up pitches. He's a guy that goes behind the rubber and goes full intensity with his throws to kind of loosen up that arm.
I would say just about everybody goes right to the rubber. I mean, you hardly ever see what Mason Englert does, and he almost takes a crow hop into what he does. And this is, you know, essentially him getting loose in between innings. He'll go out to the mound and he'll step into his throw. It's a unique warm-up routine. And really, he's trying to accomplish a couple things here. Loosen the arm back up, right? But also gain momentum and rhythm into that delivery. He wants to feel that momentum in that slope, right? He wants to ride that slope downhill. And, you know, by doing this, he feels like he's going to get a little bit better, a little bit quicker into his rhythm on the mound. It's worked so far this afternoon.
Now he throws a curveball, the slowest pitch he's thrown of the day, under 60 miles an hour.
It's almost an ephus, isn't it?
What was that?
Well, it's technically a slow curve, but you hardly ever see it, and he'll flip it up there every once in a while, and you get the same reaction that I just got from you. Looking at me like, what was that? Yeah, it's a slow curveball. Like, essentially it is an ephus pitch, and he just lobs it in there and try to steal a strike.
I think Kevin Cash and Kyle Snyder would be very pleased to see where Englert is here in his first start back, 4 2/3 innings in, having only allowed the 1 run on an opposite field home run by Walker. You mentioned the rarity for Walker. This is going to be a challenge by the pitcher.
Pitcher challenge.
Hunter Fiducia was thinking about challenging. He said, wait, Mason already challenged, so I don't have to challenge. And Mason Englert's going to get it right.
Yeah, typically you're going to just allow the catcher to do all your challenges. And honestly, as a pitcher, former pitcher, if I was going to go out there and start challenging, I mean, you think everything you throw is a strike, right? And so you have to rely on your catcher a little bit more. This one, obviously Mason Englert, he was able to win.
He got that one overturned for a win, a rare win from the pitcher's mound. This ball is down, and Jose checks his swing. It's 2-2. Jose has reached on an error, stolen a base, and then singled his last time up. It hit 103.7 for that single off the wall in left field, the out-of-town scoreboard. Stays alive on that 2-2 pitch. Tampa Bay yesterday using relief pitchers for 3 innings plus 2 batters in the 9th. 4 different arms came out of the bullpen.
You're talking about yesterday's game. You know, Astros was able to put up 10 spot on the Rays. And you just think about when you're looking at this lineup, how much different it'll look when Jeremy Pena comes back.
Pena's an igniter at the top of the lineup. They think he might be back before the All-Star break in that series against the Rangers.
Which would be huge, right? You stack him at the top of this lineup. Jordan continues to hit the way he's been hitting. You got Isaac Paredes. It just lengthens it out a little bit.
Everybody loves hitting in front of Jordan, so Altuve's going to be like, wait, Jeremy can take his time because I like hitting that one spot in front of him.
You can see he's very comfortable doing it.
There was an error involved, but Altuve has been on base now 6 of the last 7 times at the plate. 7 out of 8 with that walk.
Food in the oven but don't want to miss a pitch? Just tell Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Yesterday, Altuve walked in front of Yordan Alvarez in the 7th, and Yordan drove in a run with a sac fly, and then he walked in front of Yordan in the 9th, and Yordan walked off the game.
And you see another mound visit, right? I mean, it's almost every time Yordan comes up with anybody on base, we got to talk this over. At least that's what Kyle Snyder's thinking. You know, look, that's all because of the respect they're giving Yordan Alvarez and what he has done just throughout this first half, and really how consistent he has been. You know, look at these numbers. I mean, TK, come on, man. Triple Crown chase. You got some Rays that are going after Yordan in a couple of those categories. Of course, Junior Caminero, we've been talking about his power and what he's done here recently, 11 bombs in the last 11 games. He's 3 behind in the home run category, 29 for Yordan.
Yordan and Yandy Diaz, fellow Cubanos, have been going back and forth in this batting average race as the day goes along. Now that Yordan is batting for the 3rd time, he doesn't have the batting average lead because they're both 0 for 2, and Yandy started out just a little bit ahead of him. First pitch is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Yordan in the last 4 games, 10 for 16, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs.
Just watching his swing, it's so amazing how he can keep his weight back the entire time until he wants to pull the trigger with that bat. It's just so fundamentally correct and creates so much power and torque.
Altuve literally fell over going back to the bag. He was that close to the bag that he didn't even have to take a step.
He just dropped.
He dropped onto the bag.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, what is that, 3-foot lead? Maybe? He almost jumped over the bag.
His foot did not actually leave from where it was originally planted, it didn't look like. How about Altuve, though, stealing a base in the first inning? He has not been running like he did earlier in his career, but that stolen base, his second of the year, put himself in scoring position for Jordan. She stole as Jordan was striking out and got to third for Paredes, who batted with 1 out and a runner on third. Second disengagement for Englert. So Englert looked at Jose's bio and he said, my gosh, you used to steal a lot of bases. Maybe you still will.
I think all he's doing is making sure that, you know, while Jordan is up there, he doesn't have anybody in scoring position. Because that's like a 3-foot lead that he's now thrown over twice.
Maybe he's going to encourage Altuve to go now that there's been 2 disengagements. No, that's off the plate, 2-1. I don't think the Astros would love to see any stolen base attempt because you're basically in scoring position anywhere on the bases when Jordan's at the plate.
As soon as he comes up, he's in scoring position. I mean, look, this is the most dangerous left-handed hitter in the game, right? And he has such a good idea about what he does at the plate. You know, such a great approach.
Pitch called a strike. It's 3-1. Jordan's only challenged 1 pitch all year on the new ABS system. So instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. Jordan has struck out and flied out to left field today against Englert. And now the count's full, so Altuve will be off with his pitch. And Jonathan Aranda says, I should probably play back now with Jordan batting.
It's a little safer environment when you back up. It'll be interesting to see what Englert wants to do here. He went with a fastball up in that last pitch, missed. He could go back to it, try to stay on the hands, which could be a dangerous pitch if you miss, or go change up down. Remember, Englert's best pitch so far this afternoon is that changeup. Got him set up for both.
Locked it into right center field. Jordan got under this one, and Victor Mesa Jr. will come in to make the play for the final out of the inning. 1 walk, 1 left on. We're through 5. Low scoring game today in Houston. It's 1-0 Astros. Sixth inning baseball, top of the order for Tampa Bay. Yandy Diaz, who has struck out twice today against Peter Lambert, struck out looking in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Lambert has struck out 5 and has retired 10 of the last 11 batters he has faced. Both pitchers, Peter Lambert and Mason Englert, pitching very well as Diaz down in the count 0-2.
You check out the usage of what Peter Lambert's doing here. Really leaning on that 4-seam fastball. He's got a nice ride to it, spotting it up, attacking early, changeup coming off of that, and then a little bit of that slider.
Yeah, you saw the sweeper also up from 6 to 12%. That's been mostly against Junior Caminero.
Stay out of that power zone, right? We were talking about Junior Caminero and what he's done to the inside corner pitch, and really pitches over the middle as well, so you have to start pitching him away. On the contrary, Yandy Diaz loves to go to the opposite field.
Yandy takes another called third strike. He is down on strikes for the 3rd time today. That is now half a dozen strikeouts for Lambert, with half of them coming against Yandy.
Well, this is what we're talking about with Junior Caminero and what he has done just over the last 11 games. Check out the location of these home runs, and the pitch location is really what I want you to focus on. It's all middle to middle in, right? And remember the adjustment that he made to where he can get to that inside corner fastball a little bit easier.
Jonathan Aranda swings at a first pitch and down to the count 0-1.
Isn't it funny how small adjustments can change everything?
5 degrees?
5 degrees. That's what it is. Open up that front side just a little bit more. You know, talking to Junior, he also talks about how important his hands are, keeping the hands back in the swing. Another guy who does such a good job is Aranda up at the plate. But there it is right there. Check this out. Since last season, the most home runs on top of Aaron Judge. He's got 71, does Junior Caminero.
11 in 11 games, 12th major leaguer to ever accomplish that. If he gets a home run today, he'll be one of 5 major leaguers ever to hit 12 in 12 games.
He's been talking about how excited he is for the home run derby coming up. And I know you watched it last year, how much fun it was. He ended up losing to Cal Raleigh. But he said he's a man on a mission this year.
There's not a lot of guys that are as eager to participate in the Derby as Junior Caminero is this year.
And it's interesting. Last year when he participated in that Derby, you're always wondering, Mike, is he going to go into a slump after this, right? Is it going to hurt the batting average? Is it going to hurt the approach? He actually hit really well in the second half to start the second half last season. It's almost like when he gets into home run mode, you start seeing these launch at a very high rate.
We mentioned the season Jonathan Aranda's having. Big numbers with 13 home runs, and he actually has more RBIs than Junior, despite the home runs being in half of the total of Junior Caminero.
Aranda's just been so consistent, and you know, we were talking about approaches with some of these guys. He has a great approach because he just throws hands. He's willing to go opposite field at any time.
Just like that, as he drops one in front of Lamont Wade Jr. on cue, Doug, as Aranda singles into left field.
Yeah, he just throws hands. So when you throw him outside corner, he's not going to get greedy and try to roll over it. He's just going to go with the pitch, and that's why you see the RBI total climb consistently for Aranda. He does that with runners in scoring position, but we also see it right there. And you know, going back to Yandy Diaz, Yandy Diaz has been very consistent, never had his average drop below 280 for each month, and just crushing the baseball. And then, of course, Junior Caminero. I mean, the OPS on Junior Caminero over the last 11 is out of this world.
Well, here he is batting for a third time on his 23rd birthday and taking a called strike 0-1.
Well, heavy on the breaking ball so far this afternoon, and it's probably a good thought from Lambert. You see what the big three have done for the Tampa Bay Rays, and then the rest of the team. You got 51 of the 82 home runs coming from those three: Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero.
We showed you the sweeper uptick for Lambert as he continues to throw sweepers to Junior Caminero. He got ahead 0-1 on the sweepers, now 1-1. Astros have their bullpen moving for the first time. It's Steven Okert beginning to loosen up. And that one gets past Christian Vasquez. That'll advance Jonathan Aranda on the wild pitch. So now a runner in scoring position for the Rays with 1 out in the 6th inning.
Well, here you see it. He's on the knee right here in the breaking ball in the outside corner. He's not able to get in front of that. Being down on one knee does hurt your chances to block balls in the dirt. See it hurt Christian Vasquez right there. Aranda easily going up to second base, now in scoring position.
And Christian will be the first to tell you he'd like another shot at that one, as he felt like that was one he could have blocked. This one popped up to Nick Allen at shortstop, and that'll be out number 2. Caminero 0 for 3 today, pops up for the second out.
Well, big out right there for Peter Lambert. You know, Christian. It's one of those things where you got Aranda in scoring position, and Junior Caminero obviously so good.
The lefty Steven Okert had been warming up, and Joe Espada with the lefty Cedric Mullins due up is going to go to his bullpen here. So Lambert will go 5 2/3 innings, and quite an outing. He should get a nice hand from this crowd. Gives up 3 hits, responsible for the runner on second, but he leaves with his team leading 1-0. We'll be back with a new pitcher on a Star-Spangled Sunday on Peacock after this. Very good outing today by Peter Lambert as he goes 5 2/3 innings. Struck out 6, walked 1, allowed 3 hits so far. No runs allowed, responsible for the runner on second base. He leaves with the Astros leading 1-0. Pinch hitter is going to be Valade as this pitch gets away. Steven Okert's first pitch bounces past Christian Vasquez, and that moves the runner Jonathan Aranda up to third base. So now a runner at third with 2 outs, and Ryan Valade, the pinch hitter for Cedric Mullins, with Okert on the mound. He pitches more than anybody else in the Astros bullpen.
Yeah, they go to him often because they got a lot of confidence in him, but he's putting together quite the year. 2.57 on the ERA, walks and hits per innings pitched. That whip underneath a 1 just does not allow traffic on the bases.
Ground ball foul. Valade started yesterday at first base, went 0 for 5. Okert pitched the first game of this series, gave up a home run to Junior Caminero, but ended up getting the other 3 batters he faced. Now trying to strand Peter Lambert's runner on third base here. A couple of wild pitches in the inning, moving Aranda over to third. Now Okert getting ahead of Valade, 1-2.
Heavy use of that slider, coming in almost 70% of the time, and it's a real good one. Gets swing and miss on it. Can put it back door, can front door you. Very good command on that pitch. Then goes behind it with a fastball, 91, 93. Little deceptive angle from his mechanics.
Valade 2 for 9 this year as a pinch hitter. He's a guy that can play first base, also go into the outfield for the Rays. Cedric Mullins, the guy he's pinch hitting for, might move him to the outfield here if he stays in the game. That one's off the plate, 2-2. Yesterday it was Hunter Brown against Drew Rasmussen, and the game ended up 10-8.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a pitcher's duel. We walked into the stadium together talking about it. Doesn't work out that way. That's why you play the game, TK.
Today was a spot start out of Mason Englert, and we have a 1-0 game. Valade pops one up, being called off as Christian Walker, and Cam Smith makes the running catch for out number 3. Single, a couple of wild pitches, and no run scored. It's 1-0 Houston heading to the bottom of the 6th.
Illumination's Minions and Monsters is the genius and totally true story about 2 minions who set out to make a movie and unwittingly unleash monsters onto the world. See Minions and Monsters only in theaters now. TK.
All right, Julia, bottom of the 6th inning. Isaac Paredes leading off, and Mason Englert's still out there. He has never thrown this many pitches in any game this season. But Kevin Cash needing some length out of Englert. We mentioned that he was originally drafted by the Rangers out of high school in 2018, and he was drafted out of Forney High School. This ball hit high and deep to left field. Isaac Paredes bidding for a home run, and it is gone. Isaac Paredes hits number 12 on the year, and the Astros take a 2-0 lead.
Well, Isaac Paredes jumping all over this changeup. Usually it's the fastball he's hitting out of the park, but this one stays up in the zone. He stays on top of it. Watch all that torque and power get through this swing right here. Gets on time, and you see the launch angle that he creates, almost finishing over his shoulder. Lifting that ball to the left side for another run.
Both runs scoring for Houston on solo home runs. Paredes with that home run, and Christian Walker hitting one the other way in the 4th. A career-high pitch count today for Mason Englert. Cam Boozer started the inning warming up in the Tampa Bay bullpen, and he continues to loosen up as Englert faces Walker here with a 2-0 count. You mentioned last time when Walker hit one out to right, he doesn't hit a lot of opposite field home runs, only his 4th as an Astro and 47 home runs in the last 2 seasons in a Houston uniform. That one catches the inside corner, 2-1. Here's the defensive changes. Ryan Valade stayed in the game. He's in right field for Tampa Bay, and that moves Victor Mesa Jr. from right to center. Walker fouls that pitch. It's 2-2.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the wave happen here every single game. Fans are getting into it.
Fans are fired up. 4th of July weekend. We mentioned all the stuff, activities going on here in Houston, including the World Cup, and yeah, they enjoy the wave here. Had a big crowd last night for fireworks of 37,457.
Doing a post-game show with the fireworks in the background was challenging.
Hey, you guys do your post-game show from the site.
Yeah.
And when fireworks are going on behind you, good luck.
I couldn't hear a word Dwayne was saying. And
just kept
he's
nodding.
6 inches from me. I just kept nodding. That's right. Well, he's right usually anyway, so I can just agree with him.
3-2 the count to Walker. And he goes down on strikes. Engler continues to pick up new career highs with every strikeout. That's 8. How about Isaac Paredes?
First home run on a changeup all season long. There was 85 miles an hour. Just caught way too much plate. And we talked about what Isaac wants to do. What's he doing? Pull side in the air. That's his specialty. It's always been his specialty. And well, he did not miss that one.
So now Lamont Wade Jr. bats with 1 out. Most of Isak's home runs had been on the fastball this year. 9 of his 12 on fastballs. A rare off-speed pitch hit out by Paredes. But every single home run Isak has hit in his career, Doug, has been to left center or towards the foul pole. Nothing to the right of left center.
Well, this park is just built perfect for him, right? I mean, no wonder that they were looking for Isak in a trade and tried to get him over here, acquired him, and he's been thriving ever since coming over to Houston.
This ball hit hard but foul. We mentioned that, you know, Christian Walker with only 4 of 47 home runs to right field, but compared to Isak, that is just using the entire diamond, because Isak never hits them out to center or to right. We're talking about a guy who has career home run total of 104, and they've all been to left or left center. Lamont Wade Jr. down on strikes. Englert now with 9 strikeouts, bouncing back from that home run with a couple of Ks against Walker and Wade Jr.
Well, it's been a great effort from Englert so far. A couple hard hit balls that left the park, but besides that, just those 2 mistakes on the afternoon. He's done exactly what Kevin Cash has wanted, right? He wanted that length. Now pitching with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Previous career high in strikeouts 5, and he has 9 today. And he's ahead of Cam Smith, 0-1. For a guy who's never thrown more than 90 pitches in a start at the big league level, this will be pitch number 100. Off the plate, 1-1. That ball off the end of the bat, falling quickly, and Simpson will have to play it on a hop. Cam Smith drops in a single here with 2 outs. Astros have their 5th hit of the day, and out of the dugout comes Kevin Cash.
Well, 2-seam fastball right here. Cam Smith does a good job getting those arms extended. See how much plate coverage he has. Got the wide stance. Nice balance throughout that swing. Drives it out to left field for the hit.
Mason Englert gives up a couple of solo home runs, goes his deepest of any game of his big league career, and leaves with his team down 2-0. Presented by Ford. We welcome you back inside Daikin Park as the Astros are leading 2-0 against the Rays in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and Tampa Bay goes to a lefty, Cam Boozer.
Well, Cam Boozer, you see the numbers here so far, 11 games in, 1.59 on the ERA. Does not walk a lot. Good command, punches out 12-4 on the strikeout to walk ratio. He's a 4-seam fastball cutter guy. A 4-seamer, comes in around 95, 97 miles an hour, power arm from the left side. He's only given up 1 hit all season on that 4-seamer. Now, it is only 11 games, but still, they're starting to go to him more often in tight ball games.
Quite an outing by Mason Englert coming up from AAA Durham today. 5 2/3 and a career high 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Zach DeZenzo will pinch hit.
I mean, that was a great effort, right? Great effort by Englert, and was able to get that length that Kevin Cash was asking for. Now going to that bullpen, see if they can hold it right here.
DeZenzo had a big hit for the Astros in last night's game, singling to tie the game at 8 as a pinch hitter. Now he pinch hits here and takes a pitch for a strike. DeZenzo came on yesterday as a pinch hitter for Lamont Wade Jr. in the 7th inning, and ended up tying the game with a single. Craig Kimbrell would come on to face DeZenzo, and Zach singled to right to tie the game at 8, scoring Jose Altuve. Now he hits for Taylor Trammell. And DeCenzo quickly down to the count 0-2.
And those are the two pitches that Boozer's going to feature, right? That cutter, first pitch for the strike, then the fastball right behind it, mid-90s.
And Boozer has the highest zone percentage. He is in the zone more than any other Rays pitcher, and he just makes quick work of the pinch hitter DeCenzo for the final out of the inning. Astros have a 2-0 lead today. Christian Walker a solo home run in the 4th, and Isaac Paredes a solo home run in the 6th. It's 2-0. Star-Spangled Sunday, every team, every game. One home action continues on NBC, Peacock, and NBCSN. Chandler Simpson taking a strike as the Astros still have Steven Okert out there. That one popped foul. And out of play, it's 0-2. Astros have a new outfield defensive alignment. Zach DeCenzo, who pinch hit, stayed in the game. He's in left. And Bryce Matthews has taken over in center field. Matthews will bat in Lamont Wade Jr.'s spot, who is out of the game in left field. And DeCenzo pinch hit for Taylor Trammell. Simpson down in the count 0-2. And he sends this one down the line and left. DeCenzo's going to run out of room. Simpson singled into center field, one of 3 hits allowed by Peter Lambert today. We mentioned how effective Mason Englert was. Lambert gave up no runs in his 5 2/3 innings.
I thought he looked outstanding. Really leaned on that fastball. Right, 92, 94 miles an hour, but it shows you don't have to throw 100 miles an hour to be effective in the major leagues if you know what you're doing. Command was key for him. He's the guy that really needed to control the counts, and that's what he was doing all afternoon. Right, mixed well, but again, really leaned on that four seamer.
Lambert, after walking 3 in his last 2 outings, walked just 1 today and struck out 6. He had 2 starts prior to that where he didn't walk any batter and went 13 1/3 innings in those 2 starts and allowed 3 runs. So Lambert, after giving up 4 in his last start against Minnesota, bounces back with a very solid 5 2/3 innings of shutout baseball. Now Okert facing his second batter after getting Ryan Valade to fly out to end the 6th inning. Swing and a miss. Simpson down on strikes. Okert picking up his first strikeout. There's 1 away in the 7th.
Well, really nice command on that slider from Okert. Just continued to pound the strikes in.
Here's our Star-Spangled Sunday. Other games going on, all streaming on Peacock. Marlins out to a big lead against the A's in Sacramento. Big game tonight between the Padres and the Dodgers. Blue Jays and Mariners just getting going. Bottom of the 2nd inning, and later on the Red Sox and the Angels. Every game today on NBC or Peacock, including our own.
I love your socks. Just checking those out now for the first time.
Star-Spangled Sunday, buddy.
Look at you being festive.
You didn't get the socks?
I did not get the phone. No.
Ben Williamson with a 1-1 count. Williamson is 1 for 2 with a single and a stolen base. This one fouled out of play. It's 1-2. Enyel De Los Santos is warming up in the Astros bullpen. We mentioned this is a left-hand hitting lineup for the most part, even with the pinch hit by Ryan Valade. Still 5 lefties in the lineup, including the next 3 after Ben Williamson. That one fouled back, stays 1-2, or it is 1-2. Williamson was single and also struck out. 3 singles so far today for Tampa Bay. They do have a couple of stolen bases. So every single has advanced at least in a scoring position. That'll be down and in for a ball, 2-2. Williamson is the most patient hitter in this Rays lineup, but goes after that 2-2 pitch and grounds one on 2, hops to Isaac Paredes. That's out number 2 here in the 7th.
Pretty automatic for Isaac Paredes. We're talking about again how good he is defensively. Just routine. Gets a lot of credit for the offense, what he does. Puts up a lot of power. Okert doing a nice job out there. Finding that strike zone, especially with that slider. It's a good slider that tunnels off of that fastball. Just really hard for both right-handers and left-handers to pick up.
Okert's been really good and has been able to give Joe Espada length too lately, where he has been able to go multiple innings at times.
Also got some big league hair.
He does.
Some good lettuce right there, huh?
He does. Astros are heading to D.C. after this game, and in D.C. at Nationals Park, they have a bullpen card that nobody ever uses.
Right.
Except for Stephen Okert.
Really? Good for him. Save that cardio.
In fact, the last time he was there, he was with the Minnesota Twins a couple of years ago when his manager was Rocco Baldelli. And Rocco told him, if you're going to take the card in, you got to tip the driver. So he brought some cash out to the bullpen, got out of the cart, tipped the driver, went on the mound.
That's outstanding.
That's Oak. 1-2 the count.
He'd give the driver a 5-star rating?
Yeah, and then he went online and gave him 5 stars.
Good.
Because he enjoyed the conversation on the way in from the pen. Mesa Jr. down in the count 1-2. And that'll be off the plate 2-2. Yeah, Blummer, your buddy who's normally in that chair to my right, calls him Everyday Okert because he's out there
every day,
all the time.
You got to love guys like that who just want to throw every single day. They want to be in the game every day, and you know they'll never tell you when they're down. Just get me the ball. If it's a tight game, put me in this ball game.
We had Stephen Okert mic'd up in the bullpen for a game a couple of weeks ago, and he said that the nickname down there in the bullpen is First Call Steve.
As soon as that phone rings, he doesn't even wait for his name to be called. He just starts throwing.
He's going. He hears that ring and he goes, starts to throw. This ball popped in the center. Okert's going to go 1 1/3 perfect innings today as the catch is made by Bryce Matthews to end the top half of the 7th inning. As we do on Sunday afternoons here and throughout Major League Baseball, we're going to keep it right here and turn it over to Bob Ford, who will introduce Ben Chavez as we pay tribute to America.
That you please join us now as we're happy to welcome in entertainer extraordinaire Ben Chavez. Please join him for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Home runs by the Astros, Christian Walker and Isaac Paredes, as Cam Boozer back out there for his first full inning of work. He struck out Zach DeCenzo to end the 6th. Nick Allen goes after the first pitch. Skies one to deep left field. On the track is Chandler Simpson to make the play for out number 1. Allen gave it a ride, but he's out number 1 here in the 7th. Boozer is going to be around the plate. We mentioned the highest zone percentage of any of the Rays pitchers, and in that process, he gets the highest swing percentage of any pitcher on the Rays staff.
A lot of action when he gets out there. And a lot of first pitch strikes, but people know he's going to be around the zone. That's the scouting report on him. So you're going to get a lot of early swings. You know, Houston being an aggressive lineup early in the count anyways.
Vasquez singled his first at bat. He's 1 for 2. Astros have Brian King warming up in their bullpen. Looks like King will be out for the 8th after Steven Okert had the last out of the 5th inning. Excuse me, the last out of the 6th inning plus the 7th inning. Retired all 4 batters he faced. There's King. It's generally either Okert or De Los Santos into King, and then Josh Hader. That one fouled away, 1-2. Tampa Bay will be heading home after this. They will finish off the pre-All-Star break portion of their schedule with 4 games against the Yankees and then 3 against Seattle. That's going to be a pretty important homestand leading into the break.
Very important homestand. Boy, they got back on track on the last homestand they had. It's a 10-game homestand that they really started hitting the baseball well, started pitching back to where they were accustomed to, and just got back to their winning ways and took that momentum on the road with them so far this trip. And it's going to be huge, right, going into All-Star break, because you got the Yankees, who they just climbed on top, and then they got Seattle. And Seattle is going to be one of those. That'll be a fun one, because Evan Longoria, they're going to have the ceremonies to inaugurate him and retire his jersey throughout that weekend.
They're opening up part of the upper deck.
Opening up the upper deck. Should be a lot of fun.
They're going to see the standings with the Yankees losing earlier today. So the lead will either be 4 or 5 going into that 4-game series.
It's wild to think what that looked like 10, 12 days ago. It really is, and how fast things can change. Everything seems to be going the Rays' way when you're talking about those standings.
Vasquez strikes out for out number 2. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, scan the QR code or go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Altuve gets a nice hand as usual as he bats here with 2 outs and nobody on. He's been on base 3 different ways. Error in the first, single in the third, a walk in the 5th as he takes a strike. It's 0-1. The Rays are 31-12 at Tropicana Field.
They play really, really good baseball all around at Tropicana Field. It's one of those parks that plays fair, not necessarily a hitter's park, but they do have guys that go gap to gap, not just trying to hit home runs. And the small ball definitely plays there. And then the pitching. The pitching's been outstanding for the Rays, specifically at home.
Last year when they played at Steinbrenner Field after the hurricane damaged Tropicana Field, it took them a little while to get their feet at home, and then they had played a little bit better at Steinbrenner in the second half.
They did, and it was a lopsided schedule though too, because of all the elements that you have to deal with in Florida, right? And so the first half of the season it was really loaded up with home games, and then the second half of the season they had to take that on the road, and they struggled a little bit in the second half at times.
Both lefties out of the pen have done a nice job. 1 1/3 perfect for Cam Boozer, just like Steven Okert.
The MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Look who we got here, Mr.
What?
TK.
What?
Huh?
Going old school.
Going old school.
Oh, boy.
By far the best shot that you ever took as a former Rays employee. Sweater in the pool.
TK setting the standard for sideline reporters back then. What?
Line drive with the pinch hitter, Johnny DeLuca. Thanks for saving me, JD, as he singles into left field against the new Astros pitcher, Brian King.
Can we get Julia's thoughts on that?
I have a lot of thoughts.
A lot of thoughts going through your head, right?
No, but seriously, TK was one of the first people I met when I started this job, and he really was. I mean, he's obviously a good time with those shots there, but couldn't have been nicer to me in the beginning. He was loved in Tampa. Just looked up to him, and then I got to work with him, Doug. I've been so lucky. So.
Jill, I agree, working with this guy. So when I broke into broadcasting, he was actually the host on our pre- and post-game show. And so he was one of the first guys I met. And, just sitting alongside of TK, it was an honor, right? This guy's been around the game, and he was beloved. We saw those shots. Everyone loves TK, and it's funny. I'll still walk around the Trop every once in a while, and somebody will go, "Hey, Todd." Like, really? But then I take it as an honor.
Thank you all.
He's beloved everywhere in the game of baseball.
True.
This ball hit down the line. Nick Fortes pinch hitting for Hunter Fiducia. We saw Johnny DeLuca pinch hit for Richie Palacios and single in the left. So Kevin Cash, even though Brian King has good numbers lefty on righty, is going to a couple of righty hitters that worked for DeLuca. Now Fortes batting. Fortes pops this one up. It might be playable. Christian Walker avoids Corey Dickerson in the first base coach's box and makes that play for out number one.
Boy, Brian King, just a machine when he goes in there. And it doesn't look like anything overpowering if you're just going to watch it and look at the velocity. But really, TK, we were talking about it. When you look at the splits, nobody hits him well. He just limits hard contact. And he just goes right at batters, puts them on the defensive. And I think he's got a little deception in that delivery, hides the ball well.
His splits this year are a little more neutral, but it still is better against righties when you look at the OPS. The batting average is about the same, but the OPS 638 for lefties to 577 for righties. Those were bigger gaps last year where he was much tougher on righties than lefties. So he doesn't mind when he sees a couple of pinch hitters come into the game as right-hand hitters just based on his success in the past.
Yeah, that's such a big weapon to be able to have somebody come out of the bullpen like that and not really have to worry about matchups, right? And you can go out there, righties, lefties, it really doesn't matter. You can feel confident giving him the ball, especially in a tight ball game in the 8th inning.
It's been a tough day for Yandy Diaz. Had the day off yesterday, back in there as a DH today. Yandy went 1 for 4 here on Friday, but today 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. As Peter Lambert picked up 6 strikeouts in the game, 3 of them against Yandy Diaz. Now he hits the ball on the ground. Paredes will go to second for 1. Altuve's turn. It's a wide throw and safe at first base. Could have been the end of the inning, but Altuve could not make the throw on the money. And that'll allow the inning to continue.
Well, tailor-made double play. Isak Paredes gets to it quickly. It looks like it was a pretty good feed to Altuve. Altuve just has the ball sail on him. Goes up the line. Christian Walker does everything he can to try to make the tag on Yandy, but it does not look like he got him.
Astros are going to challenge this.
First base is safe. Houston.
It's the 8th inning, so the Astros figure you might as well challenge this and see if there's some angle that might show the tag being made. It should have been an easier throw, and Altuve just kind of sailed it up the first base line. Is there any evidence that he tagged him?
Oh, it's tough to overturn a call.
Yeah.
Just based off of that view.
I don't see anything that's convincing at this point. If this is not overturned, it'll be a runner on first base with 2 outs and Jonathan Aranda the batter. Yandy thinks he's going to be on base.
Well, he's not moving. He's waiting for that call. I mean, it is as close as it comes.
It's one of those where the crew chief, Andy Fletcher, who will give us the initial or the eventual signal from New York, they have to have something that shows for sure he was tagged. I think if they called him out, probably would have stayed out. Same thing with calling him safe. And it did not look like there was anything to prove he was safe or out with the video that we saw.
Yeah, this could be a stands right here, calling the field stands.
I would think so. Here we go.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Houston will lose their challenge for the remainder of the game.
So now King will face Jonathan Aranda with a runner on in a 2-0 game in the 8th. Foul tip. 0-1. Aranda 1 for 3 with a single his last time up. One thing the Rays have done a good job on, at least in that Kansas City series, is capitalizing when a team does not make the plays defensively. They had some big innings where the Royals didn't play clean defense. This is a strike. It's 0-2.
Well, King just continuing to pop in the zone. It's 89, 90 miles an hour. I mean, nothing fancy, but boy, he just is always in attack mode.
10 pitches, 9 strikes so far. These two teams don't usually give up leads late.
It speaks a lot to the bullpen and how sharp they have been really throughout the entire first half for Houston.
Dropping into left field, but coming on Zach DeZenzo, and he makes the play for the final out of the inning. 1 hit, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Astros still holding a 2-0 lead.
We're back. Yordan Alvarez is going to lead things off for the Astros in the 8th here. He had a great day yesterday with a 6 RBI, but it was a good day for more reasons than just what he did on the field. After getting doused at home plate, after walking things off, he went straight to his son, who was sitting up close for that walk-off home run. Jordan is 5 and was actually here earlier in the day. He spent the day hitting in the cage with them on the field. Yordan said when he's at the ballpark, he always tells his dad, "You're going to hit a home run for me," and he was close. But Yordan hit 2. So Jordan really starting to love baseball. And when he goes home, he always asks to watch more videos of Yordan hitting at home.
That's awesome.
So do I.
Yeah, yes, so does everybody else. I agree. That's a special moment right there.
Julie, I heard from somebody in the coaching staff that said that his son has a really good swing.
He does. Watch out when that kid is hitting on the field. But we saw that he swings from the right side.
Well,
he's gonna be great.
If he's anything like his dad, he could probably hit 300 in the big leagues right now.
New pitcher for the Rays is also a former Astro, along with a number of other teams. The veteran Craig Kimbrell back out there for a second straight night. Kimbrell went an inning and a third in the game yesterday before being relieved in the 9th inning. He did not face Yordan in that game. This ball sent in the air to left field, slicing towards the line. Chandler Simpson is underneath it and makes the catch for out number 1 on a 3-1 pitch. Alvarez flies out to left. He's 0 for 4 today.
Well, check out the reaction. You see it right here, 4-seam fastball. Yordan, boy, he wanted to jump all over it. You see how frustrated he is. He hardly ever misses pitches that catch a lot of the plate, especially in the 3-1 count when he's expecting it.
That is a running conversation with himself after missing that 3-1 pitch. Coming into this game, Doug, it was the Stars being the Stars, with Caminero and Yordan putting on shows. But today, Caminero, who will lead off next inning for the Rays, 0 for 3, and Yordan 0 for 4. Sometimes the pitchers win. Now pitch up and in on Paredes. It's 2-0.
Oh, Isaac Paredes doing what he's been doing since really June, right? Picking up some of the slack and going out there, putting up some offense on one swing of the bat.
Yordan's June came in bursts. He would have a grand slam, he had 3 grand slams in June, but in terms of consistent RBI opportunities, those Paredes that carried the team in June. As he takes a pitch for a strike, 2-1. Yordan still frustrated. Look out, that railing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Check for dents.
That ball hit hard but foul. And it's a 2-2 count. Changes defensively for Tampa Bay. Victor Mesa Jr., who started in right field, moved to center, is now back in right. Johnny DeLuca, who pinch hit last inning, is in center. Ryan Valade has moved from the outfield to second base. And Nick Fortes is the new catcher, so a lot of changes defensively. This ball into center field, and Isaac Paredes has himself a 2-hit game. He follows up his home run with a 1-out single here in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Well, Isaac Paredes continuing to just do damage this afternoon, and this was on a sweeper. He took a couple pitches early that were in off the plate. Now he stays on this one. Not scared to stay on the pitch. Drives that baby right back up the middle. Great shot of the extension that he gets with those long arms, able to barrel that thing up.
Here's Christian Walker. He and Paredes with the 2 solo home runs today, accounting for the only 2 runs in this game. That was hit number 6 for the Astros as Walker swings through the first pitch 0-1. Walker hitting one out to right field, making it a 1-0 game in the 4th inning. That came against Mason Engler. Engler very good in his 5 2/3 innings today. Career high 9 strikeouts, allowed 2 solo home runs. This is only 2 runs. This one to third, Caminero to second for 1, and Valade's throw is in time to get Walker for the double play. We're going to head to the 9th inning with the Astros holding a 2-0 lead. Josh Hader will be on to try and save this one. Star Spangled Sunday on Peacock, presented by Ford. Astros and Rays inside Daikin Park in downtown Houston, Texas on a 5th of July. Todd Callis, Doug Wechter, Julia Morales. It has been a pitcher-dominated game, 2-0 as we head to the 9th, and the Astros go to their closer, Josh Hader.
Josh Hader as automatic as they come since coming off that IL. You see the 14 innings pitched, just the .64 on the ERA. 22 punch-outs to only 6 walks. When he is in the zone, he is very hard to barrel up.
Junior Caminero looking to start things off for the Rays here in the 9th inning. Caminero struck out, grounded out, and popped up. Playing as a 23-year-old for the first time, celebrating a birthday today. Coming into today with 11 home runs in 11 games and misses that 1-0 pitch as the slider gets him to a 1-1 count.
The slider is a complete weapon. Uses it about 32% of the time. Has not given up a hit all season on that pitch. Sinker comes in also 95, 96 miles an hour, but the deception. I mean, the deception is part of it, right? You add all those together, and he's one of the best closers in the game.
Against the slider, 0 for 16 with 8 strikeouts. No swing, but an appeal by Christian Vasquez on a challenge. They appealed to first, and now a challenge on top of that appeal to first. And the Astros are going to win that one. That's a bigger challenge than most when you get ahead of the count on Caminero. Doesn't chase that pitch down and in. And the count evens at 2 apiece. Caminero this year against lefties a .995 OPS. And that one's down 3-2.
Now patiently getting himself back into a full count situation is Caminero. He's shown a lot more patience this year than last year. Doubled his walk rate, forcing these pitchers to throw more strikes to him. It's one of the reasons all of his numbers have been better this year.
Hader walked 1 in his 1 inning of work in last night's game. That came with 2 outs.
Check it out right here. The chase percentage down from a season ago, but the walk percentage skyrocketing, doubling, over double of what it was a year ago. The patience at the plate for the young 23-year-old.
3-2 pitch is off the plate, and there is a leadoff base runner for the Rays in the 9th inning. Hader walks Caminero, and that'll bring up Ryan Valade. Valade pinch hit for Cedric Mullins in the 6th, stayed in the game in right field. Now he's playing at second base. That's here as a tying run in a 2-0 game in the 9th. Pitch is in for a ball, 1-0.
Well, Ray's taking a patient approach right here from Hader. Typically a pretty good strike thrower. Usually fills up the zone.
Yeah, 3 of his 6 walks came in 1 outing this year. But here, after getting ahead of Caminero 1 and 2, he walked him on the next 3 pitches, and now he's missed with 5 in a row as Valade ahead of the count 2-0.
Yeah, you can see Hader just frustrated with himself, taking a deep breath here, trying to get himself back into the zone.
Hader faced Valade when he was a Tiger back in 2024. Josh threw him all fastballs in that at bat, eventually striking him out. It's now a 2-1 count. Staying with the fastball here, the count evens at 2.
But just some really good pitching overall today. You know, I mean, after what we saw yesterday, a ton of offense throughout yesterday and really this entire series. Then we go into today and, you know, just excellent pitching on both sides.
2 teams yesterday combining for 18 runs, with the reigning pitcher of the month in the American League going against the guy who finished top 3 in Cy Young and Hunter Brown, against Drew Rasmussen. And today, Mason Englert up from AAA Durham, 5 2/3 very good innings. Peter Lambert, who didn't start the year in the Astros rotation, 5 2/3 shutout innings. And the bullpens have been locked down as well. Hader trying to get Ryan Valade here with a runner on first and nobody out in the 9th. Down goes Valade as he threw him a slider to eventually strike him out for the first out here in the 9th.
Good pitch selection right here from Hader. He had timed up that fastball after seeing a few of them did Valade. Now you see the slider down, bottom of the zone. You see him get on the side of that. Look at that tight spin. Just tight rotation. Gets Valade on his front foot.
Well, Chandler Simpson will hit as a left-hand hitter against Josh Hader. And he'll take a strike, 0-1. Only one left on the bench for Kevin Cash is Taylor Walls. Walls is a better lefty hitter than a righty hitter this season. Simpson 207 against lefties on the year. 1-1 count here against Hader. Leadoff walk to Junior Caminero and a strikeout of Ryan Valade. Hader, the 4th pitcher in the game for the Astros, protecting a 2-0 lead. That ball hit the other way. Towards the line is DeZenzo, and it is slicing foul. Close to extra bases for Chandler Simpson.
Flirting with danger right there, especially with Chandler Simpson's speed. See this pitch up and away. Simpson does a good job just throwing the hands on it. Watch how close this is to the fair territory. My goodness.
Ooh.
About a foot and a half away from extra bases.
Yeah, that really sliced. That was fair by about 15 feet to start the arc of that line drive. So back to first goes Caminero. Simpson faced Hader last year and reached on a catcher's interference. Punches this one, caught by Paredes. Caminero back to the bag. A little floater caught by the Astros 3rd baseman. There's 2 outs in the 9th.
Well, excellent location on this breaking ball from Hader, and it was an interesting pitch selection because he just took a fastball and went opposite field. That was almost a fair ball for extra bases. Instead, he goes with the breaking pitch. Watch where this lands. The outside corner, 88 miles an hour. As Chandler Simpson just throwing his hands. A little bit of an emergency hack right here for the 2nd out.
Now Ben Williamson will bat, 1 for 3 today. Williamson sends this ball fouling out of play. Williamson faced Hader last year as a Mariner. And Josh gets ahead 0-2. 29,003 today at Dyken Park, watching a lot of good pitching, not a lot of offense.
Looking to take the series on their feet now, cheering on Hader. See if he can get this final out.
Astros trying to win their 6th series in their last 7. They lost to Minnesota to start this homestand, with the Twins taking 2 out of 3. That snapped a string of 5 consecutive series victories. Now they're trying to pick up 6 out of 7, and Hader within a strike with an 0-2 count on Williamson. Got him. Ball game over. Astros win 2-0. Josh Hader finishes off a 4-pitcher shutout today of the Tampa Bay Rays, who came in with the best record in the American League. Rays saw their 9-game winning streak go away last night, and now the Astros have taken 2 out of 3 and have won 6 of their last 7 series. As a former pitcher, you saw a lot of good pitching today.
Excellent pitching, really on both sides of the ball. I mean, look, Tampa Bay did a good job. Mason Englert, really set the tone, but it was all about Houston on the mound today, and they were able to go out there. Lambert doing a good job himself, 5 2/3 of shutout baseball. Okert King, and then Hader for the save.
We'll be back to wrap things up from Daikin Park. Julia Morales will have an interview with one of the winning Astros after this.
Our Spangled Sunday on Peacock, presented by Ford. The Astros winning 2-0. They also win this series against Tampa Bay. I'm joined by Christian Walker, now hit a solo home run, his 20th home run of the season. What'd you get right there? It looked tough offensively for you guys to get going, but you were able to lead off the inning. What'd you see?
Yeah, he was doing a good job. Hadn't faced him before, but he had a bunch of pitches he was mixing well, kind of tunneling them pretty well. After the first at bat, I wanted to just take a little pressure off. I feel like I was trying so hard to figure out balls and strikes and not chase, and I ended up missing a pitch that I could drive. So wanted to just take a step back and have some fun with the at bat, and got a fastball up and just let it eat.
You got caught yesterday on camera finding Jordan's bat. I believe it was Jordan's bat. I don't know who else's bat you'd be rubbing all over your jersey. You think that had anything to do with your day?
Yeah. I'm going to spend as much time around that guy as I can, for sure.
It's pretty incredible. I mentioned the Rays, red hot Rays, though, when they came in to start this series. How were you guys able to take this series from them?
Yeah, that's a great team. You can tell they're playing well. They got some momentum. Honestly, relied on our pitchers. Day like today, rubber match, Lambert to do what he did, the bullpen to hold him at nothing. A 2-0 series win, hit the road. It's awesome.
Happy flight to you.
Thank you.
Christian Walker with a home run in today's win over the Rays. Stay right there, though. We're wrapping things up from Daikin Park. TK and Doug will be right back.